Rapid Cargo sponsors the Kubi Springer Show.
My name is Kubi Springer, and I've come a long way. After 12 years of marketing, working for some of the biggest brands in the world, I've decided to bring my knowledge and expertise to you.
Hello and welcome to the Kubi Springer Show, sponsored by Rapid Cargo, the show that enables you to be your brand, shape your destiny. We show you how to own it. Coming up on today's show. We go behind the scenes for our weekly edition of Kubi Consults, our reality series where I consult established and emerging businesses about their business strategies. Then we are joined in the studios by Ambrose Mendy, renowned sports promoter and agent who will talk to us about the business of sports. Stay with us for our weekly surgery where we give you the chance to get your business ideas out in the open and taken to the next level in Brand Central. Then we view the latest elevator pitches online and choose the best ones in the running for this month's £100. And if that's not enough, why not enter our weekly competition to see if you can win beauty and fashion products courtesy of cabernet.com. Remember, we would love to hear from you, and there are numerous ways that you can get in touch. Simply text, tweet or Facebook us with your questions or comments. All the information is on the screen now. First today, one of my most favourite segments of the show, it's Kubi Consult. I'm now here with Head of Sales, Richard Scott. Thank you, Richard, for taking the time out.
Great to meet you, Kubi. Thanks for coming along today.
Oh, my pleasure. I want to talk about the seasons, the business seasons for Sleek. How does that work?
The seasons are pretty much geared to the fashion seasons and obviously driven to a great extent by hair colours as well. The seasons obviously are geared to to a certain extent, obviously you've got Easter, summer, when a lot of girls are out there wearing all the different styles we have. And again, Christmas. Christmas is our probably busiest part of the year, or the lead up to Christmas anyway.
So you must be very busy kind of getting everything shipped out. I had a look at the your big shipping area back there.
Yes, certainly before Christmas, we were absolutely non-stop, yes. It was very busy, and it is every year.
What other new markets are you touching?
We're exploring a number of new markets. We've touched on the TV and film market.
Awesome.
We've just finished working with an HBO production. In fact, it's coming out this month. Game of Thrones.
So that's February 2010.
February 2011, yes.
Excellent.
That's right,
and
yeah.
so you supplied the hair, the wigs?
We supplied the hair for the extras, yes.
Awesome, awesome. I know another area that you're expanding into is the NHS. Tell me how exciting that is.
NHS is very exciting. We've just heard that we've been given a contract to supply hair or wigs to the NHS.
And what would that be for? What sort of patients?
It's really looking at cancer patients, patients with alopecia, that type of patient. So it's really trying to show that we are, obviously we are a fashion company first and foremost, but we do take things seriously in terms of other areas like the NHS where we can supply. So,
Is that part of you showing that you're an ethical organisation?
It's obviously got some element to that as well, yeah.
It's brilliant. Going back to the glitz and the glam of the world of TV, Dancing on Ice, you're supplying hair for that? We
are, certainly, and that's, obviously that's a prime time slot on ITV on a Sunday night, so, that's, we were supplying the hair for that.
How does that deal work in terms of the business? Do you contact them? Do they contact you?
It's a little bit of both. Again, as I was saying to you earlier on about contacting, obviously this is a two-way process. Sometimes we have contacts that we are already aware of. Other times it's guys contacting us and wanting to put deals together. So very, very much a two-way street.
It's lovely actually, and looking at how the business has grown. I suppose the last thing for me is, what would you say is the product USPs?
Our blondes are probably way up there, and I would say we're probably perceived as the #1 in terms of certainly European hair anyway.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, for that, giving us the inside scoop on the business of sleek.
Thank you, Kubi. Thanks very much for coming along and letting us share it with you.
Oh, I love it. All the information about Sleek is at the bottom of the screens. Go check it out now. Oh, that's some exciting stuff. If your business could do with a marketing boost, then be sure to get in touch with us via the contact information on the screen. Now, in the studio with me, I am excited because I have a renowned sports agent and promoter. His name is Ambrose Mendy. Ambrose, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time out.
It's a pleasure.
You have been in the game, the business of sports for a very long time, so I'm honoured to have you here. Yeah. I want to get straight into it.
Okay.
Sports is a really complex world, complex industry. How do you go about selling clients, and what sort of clients do you sell?
You've put a number of questions, and they're not easily answered in one response.
Okay.
In the first instance, we need to understand that sport begins with human sacrifice. No sportsman has an unlimited shelf life, and it is about shelf life. Mm. So you start with passion. Passion drives everything. I represented for a while Linford Christie, and there was a time when Linford couldn't even get a sponsored minicab, you know, much less a car.
Really?
And of course we all know he went on to great things, but he'll tell you himself when he won the Olympic 100 metres gold medal, he was so way behind in comparison to, you know, his fellow athletes like Sebastian Coe, for example. So how do you begin? You begin simply by introductions, and I think that's at the heart of everything. Somebody has to avail you of something that is aspirational and, of course, has a commercial attraction. And, of course, you know, in marketing, we have this crazy situation where so many sponsorships, which is very important, glue themselves to a need instead of a need, resulting in an absolutely nailed-on attraction. And so the early stages, we tend to see that when people are represented, for some reason, for whatever reason, the relationship flounders and dies, and they go on to expertise. I have to say, and I'll say it very, very quickly, although it's going to go out all over the place, it's like other business, mainstream business, people spend so much time on research and development. And the truth of the matter is, you should just hijack the situation. And that's what happens in sport.
So when you represent somebody like Linford Christie, when you make a decision that I want to represent this particular sports personality, for you personally, do you have to have a passion for the sports that they're doing?
Yeah. If I say this, so you understand this, I'm an African through and through. And for me, I got involved in sport. I used to play football, I was at West Ham.
I never knew that.
I see, you learn something new every day. And I was, in fact, there's people who know me say I was a child prodigy as a player. But my dad, you know, a wonderful man, my only ever hero. Even though he beat the living daylights out of me when I was a kid, I deserved every moment of it. And my only hero, my dad was of that ilk that said, you know, look at the books. You know, there was nothing to come from football. I was like, Dad, I've been picked to play for London, you know, South England. The books I had to jump out the window, go wherever. This eventually led me to believe that if I wasn't going to make it, you know, sure as hell I was going to support somebody who would. And my late and sorely lamented friend, Laurie Cunningham, was my best friend, was playing football here, was grossly underpaid. And one day, an opportunity came for him to go to Real Madrid. So we jumped on a plane, went out there, and I should continue to tell you, went out, looked at it, we would have signed anything. And, you know, we were in a boardroom with all these trophies and everything else. And the club said to Laurie, well, you know, money, how much do you want? And he looked at me, and, you know, as if, you deal with this. I said, well, at the time, he was earning, I think, about £700 a week. So I thought, well, we got to start at £2,800 doing a multiple of 4 for a month.
I love that.
And the guy was like, yeah, okay, you know, we can talk about that. And I said, yeah, there's a few other things that we're going to have to talk about. But my whole thought was on a weekly area, the weekly wage. And the guy thought, that I was talking about months. And we twigged on, and suddenly it was, and we've got to have this, we've got to have that.
Right.
When we came out, long story, signed, got on the plane, looked at each other, and we knew we could have got more.
Okay, well, Ambrose, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, I know there's been loads of people that want to speak to you and get your advice. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, excellent. Well, stay tuned, because if you want to get some business tips from this phenomenal legend in the world of sports, keep watching. Right now, however, it's a break, and this has been the Kubi Springer Show, sponsored by Rapid Cargo. See you in a mo. Rapid Cargo sponsors the Kubi Springer Show.